I'm Marshal, welcome 23. You're joining me for Witness Bodyguard Romance Chapter 21, Heartstrings. A look of confusion is still on your face as you survey the tiny house perched beside the ocean. Is that straw on the roof? When was this built? Cassian lets out a deep chuckle. We can't all grow up in a posh mansion. It was a townhouse, and... Being used to brick walls instead of hay is hardly abnormal. This place looks like it hasn't been updated since dishwashers were invented. We had a dishwasher. Me. It was one of my chores. Now that's just cruel. No, it's not. It's good for your hands. Scrubbing some dishes builds arm strength, that too. I know that's something you can appreciate. But A few minutes later, Cassian has locked the door and started a small fire in the otherwise icy living room. Why is it so cold in here? Sorry, love, the electricity isn't turned on unless someone in the family calls ahead to say we'll be here. And notify anyone of our presence would be a death sentence right now. Cassian threads his fingers with yours, squeezing gently as he takes in the worry etched in your eyes. Is there anything I can do to make you feel more comfortable here? A pot of coffee? That always makes me feel right at home. You're out of luck here. Oh my god, I'm leaving! But try to not rip off my head while, on your caffeine detox. I will kill a person. I make no promises. Cassian opens up the bag of supplies you placed on the table and pulls out the bundle of candles. Admire the craftsmanship. These are lovely. I thought we could use them to find our way around in the dark a little better. Oh, they'll warm us up a little bit too. Have you ever had a candle trying to warm you? Okay. Each of you take a candlestick and light the wick using the flames in the fireplace. This will be my first time sleeping in a house without electricity. I can't even remember how many times I fell asleep by candlelight in this living room. Did your family turn off the power on purpose? He laughs in surprise as he continues to carefully position the candles around the room. Nothing like that. Being so close to the ocean meant a lot of storms. My parents always invented new games to play in the candlelight so we'd never get scared. That sounds really special. Like an impromptu slumber party. It was. But you're a far better nighttime companion than a room full of kids boxing in their sleep. I would hope so, though I'm not beyond playing some shadow puppet games. You make a shape with your hands that casts a large, somewhat scandalous shadow on the wall. I had no idea you could mime that. Moving behind you, he presses the front of his body against your backside as his hands join yours. You joined the man-made candles you bought. Now that's the dirtiest show I've ever seen. He's never seen the internet. Cassian bends over, reaching into one of the drawers to pull out a bundle of blankets. We can lay out these in front of the fire for tonight. Being on the run features more time on the floor than the vacation we planned. Once the blankets are fanned out, you sit down, shivering as a cool draft slips up through the floorboards near you. The fire's not conducting enough heat yet. Spreading out his legs, Cassian motions for you to sit nestled against him. Lean back, I'll hold you until you warm up. You do look like you'd make a fantastic chair. I'm one of those fancy ones, kind offering free hugs. I'd never heard of a chair that could do that before. Oh well, we're on the next phase of evolution in the massage chair. That sounds extremely high-tech. Everyone should have one. Smooth. What a line. I hope there's a hard back feature. And lots of vibration settings. I'll cater to your every need. I'm a very accommodating model. I hope so. I have so many needs. Clearly. Scooting back until you reach Cassian's lap, you lean your head against his chest and sigh as he wraps his arms around you. Any other perks included in the new lounge experience? Well, obviously I'm heated. You chuckle as he presses his warm body more firmly against you, feeling the rising heat radiating from his thighs, and laugh as he does. But I do offer head massages. One of Cassian's hands snakes up into your hair, rubbing your scalp in slow, rhythmic circles. That feels incredible. His fingertips comb through your hair, tugging slightly as he tilts your head back to touch your lips to his. As his mouth molds to yours, the cold in your bones dissipates, leaving only the tingling feeling traveling up from your toes. Your hands aren't freezing anymore. You realize that your fists have gathered the fabrics of the color of a shirt to tug him even closer. Kiss me once more to be certain. His mouth is on yours, fast and fierce in a way that leaves you instantly breathless. As he pulls back, you let out an involuntary moan. I'm sure you're properly hot now. The light from the fire flicks and glimmers off an object in the corner of the room. A fiddle, take a closer look. Is that yours? You nod in the direction of the fiddle. I can't believe it's still here. Sometimes I'd stay up all night playing. Do you still remember how? It might take me a second, but I think so. Playing an instrument is sexy. I don't even know any chords. Actually, you could learn on anything. I could teach you a few notes. Cassian trails his fingers down the slope of your collarbone suggestively. Of course. Show them on me. With a crooked smile, Cassian repositions himself to allow you to drape your body over his. You stretch out your torso, elongating the arch of your back, and as you press it to the firm muscles of his abdomen. I've got to say, you're a lot nicer than the other instruments I've played. That's because I'm the best there is, and who says I'm not the one playing you? Oh, you are, I'll admit it, but you make me look like I actually know what I'm doing. His fingertips slightly align themselves on your chest, following the line of your sternum. His other hand hovers over your stomach, so lowly he's only centimeters from dipping beneath your waistband. Is this your first position? It is. I'm beginning to think this lesson was a ploy to get my hands on you. Of course not. I'm just a quick learner. In a long, slanted motion, he drags the side of his hand across your belly button and back up again. This is how you move the bow. It has to be parallel to the bridge for full contact with the strings. I've heard contact is an important part. You can feel Cassian's breath catch as he nods and rearranges his fingers between your breasts. As he glides his hand over your abdomen, again your eyelids flutter close, and you lean your head back. This part here is known as the fingerboard, and up here's the neck. Heat pours down the groove of your neck as his lips brush against the exposed skin there. And of course, this would be the body and the waist. His hands flutter along your sides, tracing the sloping shape of your... You're a good teacher. Time to walk you through the chords. Taking your hand in his, Cassian guides your hand up to your chest, moving your fingers so they match his movements. This is G, then D, followed by A, and finally E. Each chord shape causes both your fingertips to trail over your breasts, caressing each dip and valley. I've heard there's a part of the fiddle called the F-hole. Maybe you should show me where it is. Oh, real classy. So you do know more than you're letting on. Grinning, he dips his wrists beneath your waistband, sliding his fingers forward in a smooth motion. Then, as quickly as he found you, he slips away, his mouth tickling your ears. You moan for him to return. That's for tricking me. I failed to mention I was always getting into trouble as a student. By now, the fire has grown considerably and is putting out waves of heat that cause a thin layer of glistening sweat on your forehead. You look hot. I know I do. Well, yes, but I meant more literally. I should probably get out of these clothes. I can help with them. Yes, let Cassie and get your clothes off, yes. If you had it your way, I'd never wear clothes. Not true. I'd hate having to watch everyone gawk at your body. It seems unfair not to share with the rest of the world. This is one time I don't care about any of that. I want as much as you'll give me. I'm all yours. Letting out a primal growl, Cassian lowers his mouth to your top, pulling down the fabric slowly to reveal your bare skin. As each tug reveals more, another inch of you, With your skin, you feel the soft gaze of his teeth send a tingling desire through. This house is the only one for miles. We don't have to worry about being heard. You said that last time. I'm not very good at being quiet anyway. I've noticed. You give him a playful swat on the ass as he leans down laughing, his mouth pushing back the material covering your upper thighs. Stretching out, you make it easier for him to fully remove what remains of your clothing. My turn. Eagerly, you rack your teeth over Cassian's skin, the bottom of his shirt gathered in your mouth. You open your lip wider to yank at more of the thick fabric, slipping it over his head and tousling his hair. Don't forget my pants. I'm getting there, be patient. Give Cassian a gentle shove so he's leaning back far enough for you to crouch over him, gripping the front of his pants between your teeth. Easing them down, you let your lips dip into the inner curve of his thighs until you've loosened them enough to toss them off. You're even worse at waiting than me. I can't help it. You know I hate wasting time. I do. So, how do you want me? Devouring his sculpted body with your eyes causes a burning heat to gather deep inside of you. Really? Really? No, we should just stop now. Kiss him goodnight. Shut the hell up. I want you like this. Pressing him back against the couch, you place your legs on either side of him, squeezing his legs between yours. You place a searing kiss on his lips, tangling your tongue with him to convey how much you crave him. Nami, take control. Spurred on by his encouragement, you reach your hand down to grip him, wrapping yourself around the whole of him. You angle your hips, sitting back down slowly but firmly in the rush of connecting enough to cause you to throw your head back. Ah. Cassian shudders in pleasure, groaning as he digs his fingernails into your backside. He grips your ass as you move up and down, arching your back and using your hips to push him securely against the base of the couch. Yeah, harder. Your hands finds his hair, tugging for purchase as you move faster and faster. Each movement presses Cassian's face to your chest, and soon he's caressing the space between your breasts. You lightly slap your skin against his cheeks, moaning as he flicks and sucks the soft mounds with his mouth and tongue. The sensation of rubbing against him at the exact right angles becomes too much, and you're crying out his name so loud the sound fills the whole house. He joined you a second later, pressing his palms against the small of your back as he gathers you tightly against him. Christ, Nami. With your heart pounding, you bury your face in the curves of his neck, enjoying the safety of his embrace and the heat of the fire warming your back. A few hours later, you wake up to find Cassian lightly trailing his fingers over the fiddle strings. It soothes you playing the fiddle, shows your gentler side. He smiles at the sound of your voice. I can't be rugged all the time. That's because you're a softie. You press a gentle kiss. Tell me. You've been spending time here like you did. Relaxing by the fire, playing the fiddle. You seem to have so many traditions and memories from your time in this house. I love being crammed together here. It forced us to do everything together. Moving to a bigger place in Boston was a shock at first, but we needed a change. Because of your dad? Not only that, we were getting older. I don't mind sharing, but most of the others wanted their own space. Right, you were the only one of the weird kids who loved sharing. It's part of being one of 8. You get used to it, or hate it. He picks up the bow and plays a long, powerful note. I still remember a few love songs. Those were my favorite. Are you offering to play one for me? Only if you want me to. Real original, Pixelberry. At least do new artwork or something. Having me hold a fiddle. Have Cassian play for you. I'll beg if I have to. That won't be necessary, but it's tempting. Repositioning his fingers, Cassian begins to play. His movements are graceful and mesmerizing as he slides the bow at an angle up and down. You're amazing. I would never have guessed you haven't played in years. He grins, his eyes closing for a moment as he begins to sing. I don't know how to say this, but oh well, we're gonna butcher this. Sayel, la ruin. Sayel go succor agus your go kyoin. As he opens his eyes, his gaze finds yours, matching the love written on your face. Like you're supposed to understand what it means. Sayel go Doris agus alai liom. It's good to you, Mo Mayan Slan. His voice is even smokier than usual as he switches back to English. His muscles in his arms flex slightly, but never to their full size, holding back his strength while using the delicate instrument. Come, come, oh love, quickly come to me. Softly move, come to the door, and away we'll flee. And safe from I may my darling be. The last word is barely out of his mouth before you've climbed on top of him and planted your lips on his. He puts down the fiddle and bow so he can press you closer to him, wrapping his sturdy arms around your waist. You told me to come to you. Guess I picked the right song. Your tongue quiets him as you kiss him passionately, losing yourself in each other's embrace once more. Next morning, you step outside on the soft sunlight, taking in the sweet smell of the flowers and salty tang of the ocean breeze. Cassian is waiting for you outside with a huge smile on his face and 2 rods beside him. We're gonna go fishing, probably. Everything's ready for us. I can't believe I agreed to go fishing. And I'm very grateful. I used to spend hours out here with my da. He was the best fisherman in the region. He holds out one of his long rods in his hands. Long rods, I get it. It's so heavy, I could really hurt someone swinging this thing around. The army taught me to dodge bullets, and those were a lot faster. I'll be sure to duck in time. You say that till a hook comes reeling through your eye, and you're like, oh my god, help! Down on the water's edge, you and Cassian climb into a small wooden boat, where he wastes no time casting his line out of the contented sigh. You survey your surroundings and notice a jar of wriggling worms resting on the bottom of the boat. Ew, worms. I expect a sexy reward for my efforts. I'm not about bribing. Getting to share one of my favorite hobbies with you and then get seduced by you. What a hard day. Pure torture. The jar of worms continues to rock gently at your feet, but you make no move towards it. Do you want me to do it for you? I could show you a few techniques while we're at it. Okay, it's not hard. You take a worm, you take the hook, you drive the hook through the worm, and then you cast the reel. Ladies, congratulations. You want to go fishing? Please, anything to get me out of touching a worm. Oh my god, for the love of Christ. Chuckling, Cassian picks up one of the slippery creatures and nods towards your hook. Hold that up. Don't worry, I used to be like that way too when I was about 5 years old. Make sure he doesn't touch me. Oh my god. I'll protect you. It won't get past me. Keeping the hook steady, you watch as Cassian laces the worm through the hook, securing it in multiple places. I had no idea there was a skill involved in this. There is, and I learned that from the past, so you'll know everything I do. After scrubbing his hands clean, Cassian slides behind you on the bench. His arms encircle yours over the pole where you grip the handle of the long metal rod tightly. I'm starting to think fishing might not be so bad. Glad to hear it. Now hold the rod here. And you do as instructed, enjoying the feel of his fingertips brushing against your waist as he moves with you. No complaining if I whack you by accident. But shh. I promise I wouldn't hold it against you. My first time I knocked my brother on the head and nearly gave him a black eye. He must have been furious. He was so angry his face was redder than a tomato, though it was hard to tell beneath the welt. Cassian guides your hands where they need to be, then shows you how to pull your arm back at the right angle. Be sure to aim. If you fling it out wildly, that's when you'll end up injuring someone. Like this? You mimic the motion he showed you, pressing your back against his chest as you do. Exactly. Give it a go, for real this time. With a swift sweep over your shoulder, you release a line, watching it land on the water far ahead of you. I did it. Those fish don't stand a chance. You're a natural. You've got great form. I noticed you admiring it. You shake your ass in his direction and he lets out a surprised laugh. The waves rock against the boat, gently lapping at the wood, and you slowly start to relax, tilting your head back as the sunlight warms your face. You were right. It is peaceful out here. My dad and I would sit out here every Sunday until we'd caught enough dinner for the whole family. That's a lot of fishing. You ever bring a girl out here before? Was this your move? Teach a girl to fish? Maybe get lucky? Fishing isn't a sexy hobby, as you've noticed. The worms are kind of a mood killer. Suddenly something tugs at your arm and you see that the line is pulling. Ah! In your surprise, you grab onto Cassian's upper thigh. To your surprise, like it matters. You've been together for like 2 years. Looks like you caught a fish. As Cassian begins helping you reel it in, you let your body move on autopilot, trying to ignore the tightening feelings in your chest. But when you place your hand on his leg, you feel it right there in his pocket. Remember the panic. He's been carrying you around, waiting to try to propose again? While Cassian releases the fish, you look from quiet shore to quaint house perched upon it. You imagine 8 kids running out of the door to play on the beach in the simple life that Cassian loves so much. I don't want a future like this, it's not me. You meet Cassian's eyes. His smile instantly fades. Is something wrong? I've barely had a chance to get used to being in a long-term relationship, and now you expect me to settle down? Nami, we've been together for 2 years. This isn't some new thing. I know you. The suffocating feeling that you've been suppressing the past few days transforms into a white, hot rage, burning you from the inside. No, you don't! Oh, for the love of God, here we go. You're trying to make me into something I'm not. I don't want to go hunt for my food and breed like rabbits. I never said I wanted you to. You expect me to settle down here, become your wife, instead of being my own person. I didn't ask you to move here, and I wouldn't change anything about you. Anger clouds your vision because she's a dumbass, and you jump out of the boat and start to wade towards the shore. The woman is bipolar. Okay. I had to. Oh, not to offend anybody with actual bipolar disorder, you know, but I'm just saying, like, holy shit, this shift. Cassian is calling out after you, his voice growing increasingly urgent, but you force yourself to keep going, blinking back tears. Nami, stop! It's not until a cold, unfamiliar hand clamps around your throat that you realize Cassian was calling out to try and warn you. You wheeze as the hand tightens, pinning you back against a large, towering figure clutching a sharp knife. Nami, I was hoping I'd find you here with Cassian. It'll give him another chance to watch someone he loves die. Okay. Oh, hopefully I made you all laugh, because that was actually pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you sometimes, this is how I look at it. You have to make fun of some of this shit. Like, I suffer with massive depression. And, you know, they've even thought I was bipolar at one time, and not really, and, you know, a lot of stuff was going on at the time. I half the time don't even know who I am myself, because I always try and chameleon my way into what everyone wants to find socially acceptable, or make them comfortable, or try and not make them feel insignificant, among other things. And long story short, it's just, sometimes it's the comedian in me. It's the person growing up with Robin Williams and all this other shit. You just gotta make light of some of these things. You know? You just have to. So, again, if I offended anyone by that comment, I hope I didn't. It was a joke, okay? It was a joke. So, I feel like, wow, we're in 2020 going on 2021, and I feel like you have to clarify those things, or you might actually, like, literally upset someone. And it's, again, you have to make light of some of these things. You know? Like, just saying. So, hopefully you weren't offended. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Very much appreciated. We're done with choices for the day. I don't know if I'll be streaming. I'm not going to make any promises. I've kind of had a rough patch this last week or so. And just, I wish things were going better for this channel. I wish things were going better for me. I wish things were going better for the world. I wish things just were going better, period. But, unfortunately, they're not. So, just being honest with you. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Peace.